Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. I shared my screen. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. कहाँ हो तुम तो गायब ही हो ना काम करते हो ना काम दिखाते हो ना सबमिट करते हो ना क्लास अटेंड करते हो
सर क्लास तो अटेंड कर रहा हूँ सर, मंडे नहीं कर पाता हूँ।
तो मंडे क्या है
सर मंडे को यहाँ पे पावर कट रहता तो ज्वाइन नहीं कर पाता हूँ।
so okay let's wait couple of minutes like anyway I was little late so I just modified like repeated thing and created this section. Okay, it's not yet finished. So I'm still working on this. Like these are hollow and empty. Still working on these sections, and this is like not aligned properly. I have to fix those things. So so what I did is I just modified things for this also. This section also. Let's see. I have modified the texture, applied everything. These are not yet textured. These are just the tile level map applied. And rest everything is you can see they're not textured. The tile level map applied. And just to make it a little interesting, I added a little island and created this thing. And I'm planning to create a bridge or something. I'll create a bridge so it will look nice and interesting. That's my whole idea. And all these things is just one rock. I just simply can see SM mounted rock closed, same rock everywhere. I just rotated, scaled, and placed. These are like really huge. You can see 28 times scale. This one 7 times scale. It's 10 times like different scaling and rotation. And placed it and created this. See, this looks like way too huge.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. Placed it. Covering all the gaps so there's no hole visible hollow this just to create this mountain kind of thing and I have added so this is like basic modeling and all this thing we all aware of what we're doing and I'm just simply like basic scene is same rest I'm just modifying because of, later we'll create a camera animation so we need to have decent amount of detail visible and little amount of like area to cover. So I'm planning to like extend this thing, create a garden or something. And inside also you can see I just duplicate the same pillar and place it here on top of this balcony thing. And from bottom it's hollow. So I'm planning to create some wall or something and cover those sections. And going to apply a tileable map only. And this section is like user like this island and this pond, lake, small lake, and place it here and create this thing. So now I'm planning to create some foliage. Planning to create because without foliage, it looks so like no matter what you do, it won't look nice. You need to have some amount of foliage to add and blend it with the landscape. Otherwise, it won't look nice. And now what I'm planning is this pillar, this tower, basically this thing, watchtower or whatever. So I'm planning to create a creeper around it, grow a creeper around it, and then place it in Unreal. That's my whole idea. So what I did is I exported this model already. So exported this model already as a FBX or OBJ. But remember one thing, scale it down. Right now my model is according to the physical scale. Scale it down, reduce it to like 10 times, 10 times, 15 times, reduce it, make it small, then bring it back to speed 3. Otherwise, speed 3 works, speed 3 default unit is centimeter. So otherwise it won't work properly. It will give you problem. It will be too huge to handle and too big to handle the scene. So reduce the scene, scale it down and bring it here. So then open my speed tree, blank, empty, empty. There's nothing. I'm not using any presets. I'm not using anything. I'm going to create it from scratch. But before that, I need to plan a couple of things. Like I need leaves, like whatever leaf is available in speed tree. I don't want to use them. I want to use something very specific or creeper kind of thing. I want to use something like this. So what I have to do is go to file. I downloaded this thing already. Go to texture, alpha. I can see I have all these textures in alpha. So I need to create, like modify this existing texture to fit into one plane. That's my whole idea. If and I'll need to create that plane as well, or I can create that plane within speed tree without any problem. So first thing first, I'll open Photoshop. To modify my textures. So I need diffuse, normal, roughness, transparency. If I need, I'll bring it, or if I don't need, I just keep it there. Opacity. These four are required. All four import at once. Okay. Displacement is not required. Now, one by one, drag drop all the maps. All of them are here nicely. Okay, now you can, if you want, you can switch off everything. I want to see my alpha so that I can see the clear effect of the texture. So I can see this, this one, or maybe this one I want to use. So what I'll do, crop, crop everything, go to alpha, press B, X, D. You can see this part is not required. Remove this thing. Now you have all this texture. Everything is perfectly aligned. This will be cut out with alpha, so it's not visible at all. So no need to worry about this. So I have all the maps ready. So save it as first one. I'll name it as albedo. Save. Oh, sorry. Targa. Albedo. Save. Done. Normal. Normal. Targa. Save. So if I want, I can like fix it, attach this like alpha to my diffuse also, but I am just using the presets. Opacity, it should be C. Okay, anyways. And this one, roughness. Done. So my textures I have modified. So you can have multiple textures. So this is like one texture. Now I want one more texture. So I'll go to my history and open, like, or revert everything. Okay, here till here. Revert everything. Now I use this one. Suppose I want to use one more, like two variation of texture. I'll use this one as well, or maybe something else. Maybe this one. This one looks much better. Done. It's my albedo underscore 02. Karga normal underscore 02 alpha opacity underscore 02 roughness underscore 02. So I have created two different variation of two different versions of texture. It's done and ready. Now this part, this is I need. Let's start with that. Now main speed. We're going to generate the IVs around it. So IVs gives a very nice feel, nice appearance, and it looks really nice. So what I'm going to do, first thing first, I need my model here. So I'll go to mesh, this tab, and click on this plus. It will ask what you want. So I have exported this model already. Make sure resize the model according to the centimeter, reduce the size, and then import it. Otherwise, it will become very difficult to control. Open. And it will ask what do you want to do with this. I want to populate my model or foliage around it. Okay. So it will convert this into a force. Done. Now I need to start generating my foliage. Right click, add a geometry. I'm recording, right? I'm recording, yes. Add trunk. So you can see it generating a huge trunk. So I don't want this is like super huge. So I'll reduce the radius, make it really tiny. Because usually IVs have very thin stem. So I'll create this thing and it's like super long. Reduce it slightly. I can keep it here. And then this is just one IV. What if I want more than one? 5. Under generation, I want my number of branches, stems 5. Then position wise, where I want to place it. So this is something you can see. It's all uniform. So position, if I want to like manipulate, double click, modify, change like this. I can change like this, or I can click on this one by one, go to node mode and select W, zoom in, press W and move it wherever you want to place it. I can see it's still inside this section. Make sure push it outside the surface. Slightly out is fine. And this one. So I'm just randomizing this thing. So these two are close. This is one, and these two are like kind of close, and this is also close. So go back to generator again. And now go to force and switch on this tower tick mark. So you can see it started to wrapping around the server, but it's not wrapping very nicely because the intensity, the force is not that high. So select 2. See, it's wrapping around the surface now. very nicely. If you want, you can reduce it. And like keep it uniform if you want. It's totally up to you how you want it. To add some variation here and there. So it's generating according to the surface and modifying everything. And right now you can see it's generating from the ground. But what if I want to, like, because I'm going to place it randomly, so I'll like sink it under the ground slightly. There is something called sink plus sink it under the ground slightly. And my trunks, you can see they're like quite edgy. So I'll go to generation, and there is something called, no, just spline, I think. Length, shape, tune, path, noise, break, no, shape, fine, segments, yes. The segments, I'm going to increase the segments slightly, or increase the segment, make it little smooth.
Sir,
Yes.
what if we wanted to rotate it like around the tower?
It's rotating by default.
Sir, the bottom part.
Oh, base this, you if you want, yes, that is
Hmm.
also we can do. Like for all the strings, if you want to rotate. So like if you want something very specific, in that case we can like manually create it. Like right now scale is too high, like this. Select this length. Okay, you see, if I reduce it, it will wrap around the surface. All these things can be controlled with the help of this, like radius increase, decrease. Length I can increase, decrease, to wrap around the surface. Then
Sir,
right
record
click
out there.
this.
Sir, because we scaled down this tower ka model when
Hmm.
we imported it to Speed Tree.
Hmm.
So when we export our trees, won't they also be very small?
It will be little small. That is something we can scale it up in Unreal, because I'm going to use this multiple times. So I'll have to scale it.
Okay, sir.
So branch, force, go back to force, switch on your tower force. 2 should work, and length, I feel it's like too much. Scale, I can reduce. Then I can add little branches. And again, I'll go to my force, switch on the force, maybe little one, keep the little loose. I'll add those things, and now like my branches and everything is like added. So also radius, where is my radius? Where is my apps length? if I want to like add some gravity, I can do that also. You And now after adding this, suppose now I want to add those leaves. So I need generate leaves. So this big branches, I want to add leaf mesh to generate all these leaves. Numbers, you can increase, and placement. These are going to big leaves, and position, you can keep them down, little, randomize everything, and I want to add those texture. This time I'll go to material. I can plus one material, sorry, I can import any material from my Megascan Life. You can see all these textures is showing. So let's open any one of them. This one. Open. Opacity for this is this one. Hmm. Normal, normal, and this is like more than enough. Apply this. This is done. And go to leads, material, material, the new albedo 01. You see it's generating. See from the leaf branches very nicely. If I want to increase generally like count and everything, I can do that. Make it pretty dense. Then one more texture for this one. Leaf. There's numbers. Make it dense. Rotation. Sync is 0. Extend any. And all these leaves I need to place now. If I want, I can like apply the same texture also here. But if I want, I can apply a different texture also. Plus, sorry, plus this, and this time this texture. New. Oh, sorry, my bad. Normal, normal, done. And drag drop this here. So I have variation now. And for this base, I want to add some texture for the base. So I'll be using the default available 3D texture. Where is my C drive? Speed tree samples. Path can leave. Path. I want path. Select this, open to generate this one, and drag drop on this surface. See, texture is ready. So totally up to me. Like if if I feel this branches are like way too much, I can definitely reduce it. So once I'm happy with this, I'm like done with this thing. Select everything. This is then export.
So we won't add force to the leaves.
What?
Like you ticked off the force.
No, that force I'm
Dot.
not using. No, I'm not using here. So I'm planning to do it in Unreal directly.
Okay.
Because I guess in my this particular version there is some issue because I tried exporting animation.
Hmm.
It's not working in Unreal. So I guess maybe
Okay.
there's some issue. Export selected mesh. Fine. Export, you can see we have all options for animation and everything is there. And plus texture format is also there. I'll use TGA. Flip normal. You can see all the options are there. If I want, I can like entire hierarchical export. Okay. So it will export model, texture, and everything. Exported. So I'll go to my folder. You can see it exported everything here. So and now I'll go through, and all these foliages are already there in this thing, bridge. So if I want, I can use those also. Let's go to Unreal. Right click, import. Let's see, wine. You can see all the textures are here. Combine mesh, everything, import. Model is here. If I place it here, so first I need to add textures. Scale. So I have like 10 times scale down, so 10 times have to scale up. With slightly more. You can see it loaded all the textures and everything as well. See, or it's all textures are imported already. Only the alpha map is not imported, so I'll import alphas also. It's giving me some error. Okay. I'll go to Photoshop. Open my both the diffuse and both roughness. copy, go to diffuse channel, control V, paste it, save, close. Go to A, C, and go to diffuse, V, done. Save all, save all. Just re-import these two, done. And now I'll go to material. So your model, if you already have applied texture, it will automatically load those things. Alpha to opacity mask. Masked. So it will become solid cutout, clean cutout. Select this, mask, and make sure switch on two-sided. Two-sided, save. So it's started loading. Now, if I want, I can add wind to my leads only and generate that effect. And if suppose I want to use the same thing here also, I'll duplicate it here and rotate the angle. So what will happen? I'll have variation. So both the side would look same because it's going through this thing. So I have to fix like this. I can generate. Switch off this. Rotate smoothly. Generate all of them. This is like one technique, you create everything and place it. But if I want to, I have all those presets in a bridge, like this one, this one, this one. So suppose I want to use these two. So what I'll do is I'll select this one and export it to Unreal to load. And I can directly paint them in foliage and generate this entire thing. Still loading. Just let's close Photoshop. It's a lot of memory. By the time it loads, I'll just mark attendance also. Let's see. Present. Then we have rhythm. present. We have Uday, present. Then Srijan Roy, present. Sonam, present. It's still loading.
So can we also change wind direction in speed tree?
In speed tree,
Yes, sir.
in speed tree we can definitely change, but in Unreal also we can change, but that is a coding. Like we have to code the wind. We have to add physical wind in our scene, and that's like super heavy and it's pretty complicated. Like you have to add a physical wind and then based on that generate everything.
Sir, so is it better like because in my scene like there's a lot of wind
Hmm.
and there is like white like fog like flowing in the wind and like leaves blowing.
Hmm.
So should I like so leaves and all kaise hoga? Like leaves falling from plants and blowing away in the wind.
That is particles.
Okay.
If you remember, I sent a package of particles previously.
Yes, sir.
In that that
Yes.
falling leaves are there, like it's the same particle, it just direction change. Like we create firefly, we give the
Hmm.
direction of xyz all direction, so you give only one
Hmm.
direction in leaves, and instead of using that we use the texture, that blinking texture, right? We use that leaf texture there.
So, sir, in that particle system, I'll have to put the leaves that I'm using in the shape.
Yeah, just you have to replace that material, that's it.
Okay.
Okay, what happened? Sitting so like going on.
So in my this thing, there's a lot of trees, so it's better that I use like wind in speed tree only.
No, if you can try that, but speed tree will be animation, baked animation. So if you have an
Hmm.
animation you've seen, it will be heavy,
Okay.
right? So animation is not our department. So it will be heavy and it will be all rigged. So it will create, it will be super heavy to handle. If you add that wind,
Oh.
simple grass wind, and everything is moving, so it will look nice and it will give you that wind effect automatically.
Sir, but I don't want the trunk to be moving. So
No, trunk won't move. No, trunk won't move. For leaves, it's a separate texture.
okay.
So just give me a second. Suppose all these leaves I want to move. Okay, okay. It's my okay. It's my setting in Substance is a problem. I have switched on all the LOD to download. That's why. Okay, like suppose now I have this thing. I want to move only the leaves. So simple grass wind, connect to world position, promote, 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 promote. So all done. Everything is 000. Save. This wind is it's a material, it's an animated material. So it's working on. This is only leaves. So it's not the trunk. So
Hmm.
right. So yes. Right click instance, and where is my foliage? And the two. Replace it.